Hey guys, it's me Astrid, and today I want to talk to you about reblooming Dendrobium kingianum orchids. I'm procrastinating on midterm studying, so what better time to try than now? Some caveats. I've never gotten this to rebloom. This is an experiment. Another thing, um, I'm going based on some literature I've read. So you're free to read it. It's down below. But don't treat what I'm saying as expert advice. Treat it as experimental ideas. Okay? Let's talk about Dendrobium kingianum briefly. This orchid is a fantastic grower. It grows like a weed. You'll have so many new growths coming out during the active growing season on this guy. It's really easy in that regard. Even beginners won't struggle with this guy. The problem is reblooming it. Before we talk about reblooming it though, let's talk about what makes this a great orchid in addition to being easy growing. It has a gorgeous appearance when it's not in bloom. It looks like some really cool bamboo or something. It's nice looking as just a house plant with foliage, but we don't grow orchids just for foliage. We grow them for the blooms. And the blooms on these guys are really something else. It will put up a ton of spikes with lots of tiny flowers all over the place, and they will range in color from white to light purple, dark purple, even some reds and pinks. And the fragrance is really what makes this a spectacular plant. It can be this powerful room-filling fragrance that ranges from like some strong powdery fragrance all the way to some delicious honey that you just wish you could eat the blooms, but they probably don't taste that good. And that's what makes this such a desirable plant. In addition to its fast growing habit, it can become a specimen size and you'll have a bush of these beautiful flowers within a few years if you give it good care. The problem, of course, comes in reblooming it. And before we talk about that, I have one more thing to say, which is there is a hybrid of this guy out there, and I think it's more common in Europe than North America, but it is the Dendrobium baryota. That is a hybrid of this plant with Dendrobium phalaenopsis, which is also called Dendrobium bigibbum. Den phals, my two that I have, throw up spikes every time I turn around. They are such easy bloomers. They don't require a winter rest, and they're really easy plants. But they're not as fragrant as this guy, so we want to get this guy to bloom. If you have the cross between this guy and those guys, you will not have to try this hard to get it to rebloom, I'm pretty sure. It will probably be an easy rebloomer for you. But if you have a straight up kingianum like I do, and this came with a tag, so I'm like 90% sure it is, keep listening and we'll try an experiment. Alright, what does this guy need, according to the literature, which is below, to rebloom? Well, it needs a cold, dry winter rest starting in late October to early November. What does this entail, you might ask? Well, first, lots of sunshine during the daytime. Lots of bright sunshine. Second, lots of not water. Don't water this. As soon as the growths are done maturing, which should be late October, early November, don't water it until buds begin to develop, which should be towards later in winter time, but I'm not sure. And the third thing that is the hardest to achieve when you're in a home environment is the cold nighttime temperatures. This guy needs nighttime temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, not easy to achieve in most of our homes. And why do you want your house that cold at night? Ugh. And if I got my other orchids that cold, they wouldn't be happy. This orchid is tolerant to temperatures down to 29 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're lucky enough to have an outside that is yours and you don't live in an apartment like me, you could probably throw this on the porch until it gets below 29 degrees Fahrenheit at nighttime, and that'll do a really good job of helping trigger blooming for this guy. If you live in a house like me, what are you going to do? You're going to put it in the fridge. Just kidding. You're not going to do it. I'm going to do it as an experiment. Yes. My plan to get this guy to rebloom and trigger buds is to stop watering, put this in a sunny window every day, and every night I'm going to clear out some damn food in the fridge and put this guy in every night. No water, lots of cold temperatures, lots of sunshine until buds begin to develop. At that point, I will not chill it as much anymore, and I will start to water it just a little bit. The fridge is a really arid, low humidity environment. So if it gets too dried out, too dehydrated, I might spray the plant a little, mist the top roots, or even water it a little bit if it shrivels too much. If not, I'm just going to do that simple ABC. Fridge, no water, sunshine. Fridge, no water, sunshine. And we'll see what happens. If it works, I'm going to have an amazing bloom display come January or February. If it doesn't work, maybe nothing will happen, or maybe I'll have a dead plant. If I have a dead plant, I will throw it away and I will go buy a new one, because if you want to buy one of these, they tend to be available in stores where orchids are sold somewhere January, February, March, because that's their blooming season. So if all you have is a living room and a fridge and you want to rebloom this guy, you can try this experiment along with me. If you want to wait and see my results, which is probably a better idea if you're not so experimental, go ahead and wait. I promise to update this video come sometime later in winter, and we'll see how this plant is doing. I am really excited because if this works, it's going to open up a lot of doors. I'll get a lot more Dendrobium kingianums because I love this orchid, and we're going to have a real fun time with the blooms. And if it doesn't work, I guess we're just going to have to try something else, like giving it to my mom over winter, because she has a porch. All right, so to recap, this orchid, really vigorous grower, doesn't need a lot of attention, needs a cold, dry winter rest, should not go below 29 degrees Fahrenheit. My fridge stays above 32 because it doesn't freeze my food, so yay, perfect. Very fragrant, numerous tiny flowers, amazing plant, beautiful growth habit, beautiful out of bloom. You definitely want one of these. And if I can get this to rebloom with this method, you will absolutely need to get one of these for your home. It is like a must-have for every collection if you can rebloom it. And we're gonna try. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this experiment with me, and I'm really excited to update you in a few months when this is up and rolling, and maybe we'll get some buds. No water, lots of cold, lots of sun, until buds begin to develop, and start watering and stop cooling. Have a good one, guys. Happy growing. Bye-bye.